आज हम अरुणाचल पब्लिक सर्विस कमीशन में होने वाले इंटरव्यू के बारे में टिप्स देने जा रहे हैं. First of all, congratulations to all the students who cracked the mains examinations and going to face the interview tomorrow in APPSCCE hall. First and important question is that which is asked by several students, how can we tackle the interview programs? Generally, student thinks that it is it is a test of knowledge, but reality is that interview or viva is a personality test which included following points. Now, question is, what is personality? Mainly, there are the four parts of the personalities: discipline, healthy traditions, organizational culture, and characters. A question is that what is the discipline? In discipline, commission want to check punctuality, regularity, efficiency, and human behavior. A question is that how can you prove that you are punctual? Punctuality covers several topics. You are punctual with your time, you are punctual with your work, you are punctual with your commitment. These portions cover the punctuality. And second thing is the regularity, which is very, very important. If some task has been given to you, you must be continue that. It should not be leave in between. And third important thing is efficiency. Whenever you do some work, you must be fully efficient. Try to give the maximum of your effort. And fourth and important point is the human behavior. You are behaving in a human manner or you are behaving in another way. Next point is organizational culture. What is organizational culture? There are two categories: traditional cultures and latest culture. Generally, in bureaucracy, most of the people prefer to adopt the traditional culture, but sometimes it is also needed to adopt the latest. For example, right now there is a problem of the COVID-19. Country as well as state, all are facing such problem. Since this never happened last 50 years, so there was no traditional method to handle of this. In this context, you have to adopt a new traditions, new organizational culture, and then you have to tackle it. Next and important point is the character. Character has a 5 point in characters code of conduct. What is the code of conduct? Suppose some task has been given to you. Suppose some task has been given to you and some meeting is scheduled at 10 o'clock. But by chance, by accident, some accident takes place. And due to that, you are unable to reach on that point. So this is your responsibility. You should inform to your seniors. You should also try to arrange some other persons at your place. Second, confidence. Confidence is the biggest part of the character. If you know everything, but you are not confident, you are going to do right or wrong, then it don't have any meanings. Of the knowledge, upgradation of the technologies, upgradation of the handling the problems, every things which required for a good administration, these should always be ready to adopt the upgradation of the knowledge. Decision making. Generally, when you become the civil servant, every steps you have to take some decisions. That is based on the information, that is based on some other sources. In that situation, if you will not handle and you can't take any decisions, then you can't become a good administrator. And last quality of the character is the creativity. If you have a creative idea, if you know the different techniques to handle the new problems which you have never seen, which are not mentioned in earlier cases, then definitely it will enhance your characteristic. Another question is, how can you develop a personality? Basically, the personality cannot be developed in 1 or 2 days. It is inbuilt character inside any aspirants, and that start building from childhood, and ultimately you can enhance some personalities by education, healthy traditions, organizational cultures, as well as the characters. Education that can be obtained by 2 methods, by the training, by the development. And in training, it has several parts. First, knowledge, what to do, how to do, why to do. Second, upgradation of technologies, upgradation of the facts, upgradation of another information. And third important point is the positive mental attitudes. Next step is the development. Development, that is intelligence quotients, physical quotients, emotional quotient. What comes under the intelligence quotients? Generally, your mental intelligence divided by mental age. Physical quotient, your physical appearance, your physical handling, etc. that comes under the physical quotient. And every person like a healthy, good-looking person for the bureaucracy. And emotional quotients. Emotional quotients means you should make a proper judgment to take any decision if it is based on emotion. For example, suppose some lady come in your office and she don't have proper document and she is demanding old age pension. Then how you have to tackle the situations in these things that comes under emotional quotient. First and important thing is, what is the personality? Here you should be aware that viva or interview is not checking of your knowledge. It is basically the extended conversations between interviewer and person who is giving the interview. And in these cases, generally, what selector looks for, first point which selector looks in candidates, selector looks for first a pleasant personality, positive and non-aggressive body language, conveying self-confidence, intelligent and alert mind with quick comprehension and sharp relax, ability of spoken words and communications, faculty of analysis and succinct expressions, realization of own strength and weaknesses and determination to improve, unbiased, balanced view of current and other issues, honesty and integrity, secular and democratic outlook, awareness of the history, culture, heritage of country, etc., free from prejudice of caste, creed and genders, faith in destiny of the nations, free from flexible of approach to problems, tactful at the conflict resolutions and tensions. These are the main point of the. Generally, it has been seen that students mostly ask how we have to tackle the interview, how we have to enter in the class, in the interview room. All these questions is normally asked by the student. So for this, better thing, when you called by the members, you enter in the room, first wish to the chairman, then wish other members of the boards, then you sit on the chair with the permission of the chairman, and after that, when question session is start, you seems to relax. Generally, it had been seen there are several ways to start the interview. Sometimes board members start the interview from those questions which is unanswered by your previous candidates. In that circumstances, interview becomes generally little bit tough because board members want correct answer. In that times, sometimes students face problems. Second types of the interview, generally board member asks, give your introduction. The important thing is that when question is asked to give your introduction, you should be happy that interview is going to start according to you. Important thing is that here you have to give, this is my name, I completed from the graduation and post-graduation from that particular universities, colleges, I belong from particular place. No need to give the details, there are how many brothers, there are how many sisters, etc. After that, question will start from your native place. And during the interview, generally board members try to cool down the students. And the important factor is that you never be aggressive. Question is asked in several fields. First, and initial question is asked from your biodata, your detailed application for BF, in which you have already mentioned what is your hobby, what is your educational background, from which place you belong, all these things. Generally, this information is before the interview board members. Initially, it try to start the interview from this. After that, generally, it comes on your hobby. Sometimes it also happens no questions asked from the hobby. But important point is that when whatever the hobby you have mentioned in your form, you must be prepared for that. And second important question, which is highly scoring question and which is deciding your interview, that is situational based question or opinion based question. In situational based questions, generally question is asked which is imaginary, which you have never seen. Generally in this case, when the question is asked, initially few minutes or few seconds you think about the questions, then you should try to reply the answer. And if there is a question from opinion base, then you should never be biased by the caste, by the religion, by the place of birth. You must reply questions of such type because it is going to decide your futures. Another important thing is what are to do or what not to do. First and important thing is the board members which are taking your interview are highly experienced. They are mostly either from the bureaucracy or from journalism or senior professors or specialists of the fields. They have a lot of people in their life. So it never think you can bluff them. The best thing is that you try to reply the answer honestly. Second thing, don't smoke. Third point, don't try to establish any unnecessary reports and in members. Don't beat about the bush, instead come straight to the point. don't present extreme or biased view. Next and important question generally students ask about the dress code. Surely it is very important. Males can wear formal shirt, trousers, clean socks, polished shoes, neatly manicured nails, well-shaped face, etc. And women can choose anything from sari, salwar, kameez or western formal suits. So you should totally think that it is a part of your personality shape, it is not part of your knowledge test. Important question is, which type question is expected in Arunachal Public Service Commission? First question that may be asked from your biodata. Second question from your academic background. Third question is expected from your optional subjects. And in optional subject, you should keep in mind you don't have to revise all the syllabus. You should only go through the syllabus and concentrate on the applied portion of that. And fourth and very important question is, why civil services? When this question is asked, sometimes it is asked you are engineer or you are doctor, and again you want to come in the civil services examination, what would be the utilization of your knowledge? In that situation you will give proper answer. Suppose you belong from agricultural field, agriculture engineering, you can say there are a lot of scope in Arunachal Pradesh from in horticulture as well as the agriculture. When I will select it, definitely I will try to do better and better. And another important question is expected. Tell me the 5 problems of India, 5 problems of Arunachal Pradesh, 5 problems of your district and its solution. The next question is expected from national and international issues like COVID-19, boundary dispute between India and China, India and Nepal. 7th point is locust, cyclones, CA, Article 370 and 371. And last question is expected role of community-based organization in Arunachal Pradesh. Ultimately, my intention is to tell the student that you should not bother about the interview. It is just extended conversation which is already embedded in anyone. You have to show your positivity. You don't try to expose your negative points, you try to expose your positive